Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to the film room. Once again, your boy Papa Schro is back to break down this film from week 4. We have got the defense queued up against the Los Angeles Chargers from their week 4 matchup, Sunday afternoon game against Justin Herbert and the new look Chargers with Jim Harbaugh running the show in LA. Smash that subscribe button if you're here watching the videos, if you enjoy it. We're on the road to 300 still, as well as hit that like button and hit that bell to know or stay notified when your boy posts film breakdowns, podcast, hater wager parlays, whatever it may be. And let's get straight into this film. I don't like to waste too much time getting into the film, and this first one is going to be a nice little tight end screen, just kind of catches the Chiefs off guard. And this kind of goes to how bad the Chiefs have defended the tight end position all season. I think on Sleeper, when I was setting my lineups, I went to go look at the waiver wire for Auten, the tight end from Tampa Bay, as it looks like he may be a big part of the offense for Tampa Bay. And we'll get into that in the podcast tomorrow. I plan to have this out Sunday night, so fingers crossed if not today. That podcast, we'll be breaking that down. Hope to have EDJ on the pod with me. Anyways, but Cade Otton would be a good waiver wire pickup. Shout out to Measy, he already had him. And what I was going with was the rankings. The ranking was like 30th or 31st. I can't remember. But the Chiefs are terrible against the tight end. I mean, if you've been watching all season, you know that. Nice little fake, though, that just, again, gets the defense off guard. The numbers are skewed. Only a handful of guys on that side for the Chiefs. Let's go back to our first bird's eye view of it, just to kind of get an idea where the Chiefs just don't have the numbers on this side. You got one-on-one here to get a block. One guy here. You got 2 Chargers already. Boom. Boom. Setting up to go block out here. Don't have favorable numbers. Obviously, I don't know which safety this is, but he's the one that kind of comes out and helps. It looks like a block. Was supposed to be an arrow. Obviously, need to change my mouse settings. A little too quick. But, good play by the Chargers right there. Again, just catch the Chiefs off guard. And it seems like the first drive of the season has been a problem to this point, where we are looking at weeks 1 through 4 so far, as we're in week 4 now. Obviously, all 3 other defensive breakdowns are available on YouTube here. Play action play, and I think this one was the touchdown. And I mean, really, you can't get better defense on that. I don't really see much else these two could do. I mean, Herbert just threads the needle right there. Perfect pass. Quick play action. Get pressure. Ladd McConkey catches the ball. I mean, again, you can't do much better than that. Even the pressure that Malik Herring gets right here, kind of a delayed blitz. Boom. Right in between Cook and Watson, it looks like. Here is a run play from earlier on in the game. I think this is the next drive, the second drive for the Chargers. And they did a lot of this. If you notice this real quick, because you're going to notice it through this film breakdown. They speed up to the line. So they run out of the huddle. And I do believe this was a 4th down that was stopped, I want to say. Chiefs do a great job just kind of staying at home, playing, their gap, their position. They're trying to bounce it out to the right side. Nothing there. But you still have Chamari Connor, who doesn't overcommit. Just holds his ground. Nick Bolton kind of doing the same thing as well. Kind of holding his ground. Reed not committing to either side either. Drew Tranquil is even kind of waiting to see where the back is going to go. Everybody just stays at home, does their job. And that's why this run defense is so good. And it was very good at stopping the outside run. Try to cut it all the way back. And, I mean, you got Trent McDuffie and Chamari Connor, 2 great tackling DBs. You're probably not getting out of that. Nick Bolton on the pursuit on that one, too. Here's a rollout for Justin Herbert. Not much. Leo Chanel does a great job on this play, getting over, and we highlighted him over the offseason, of course. Great job just sticking with his man. Get good pressure from Karlaftis there as well. And the defense, I think, did a pretty good job. I mean, and this is one of the best defenses in the league at the end of the day. They just go with the quick play action on the counter fake. Leo does a great job not overcommitting here. Because if Leo commits to that, that is an easy... I mean, I guess 81 is blocking anyways, but Leo is also concerned about this guy coming across the middle too. Just great awareness. I mean, just watch 54 right here. Kind of goes with it at first. Then he sees Herbert roll out. Looks behind. Nobody's there, but he knows he's going to have to cover that zone behind him. Then he sees the flat route. Perfect. Trust the rest of his defense. And that's one thing I think I've talked about plenty of times now through these defensive breakdowns, now into the fourth one, is that this defense is so well because everybody just trusts everybody else to be where they're supposed to be. This one, an amazing play off the edge. I think that's Jalen Watson that gets in there on this one. Nobody blocks him. They kind of crash down to the left side of the Chargers. That's where they're going with this. And they just cannot get to him. See kind of everybody's initial move. Basically a double team here. So, I mean, this is the tight end right here that messes this up. I mean, he should be blocking this. Instead, he's going with the double team on Karlaftis. I think the offensive line not 100% sure who is going to drop, who is going to come at this point. Because now you have a center that's kind of unclear on what to do here. Everybody kind of breaking over to the right side of this. Just really like a split zone right here. They're trying to go right up the middle with it and get a first down. I do believe this was a 3rd and short play. Now the following drive, the Chargers backed up into the face of their own end zone. No, this is the same drive. So let me go back to that real quick. See if I can remember what play this is, the down and distance. I think this is the same drive, though, after a penalty drove them back. Another handoff up the middle, and the Chiefs do a great job again. And the run fits have just been absolutely fantastic for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they have been smart about what they're doing and where they're going. Nick Bolton tries to get through this gap right here that he sees for a moment. Center does a good job at bouncing back and taking him. And here's the right guard right there. Goes to this gap to meet Chamari Connor. Again, one of the best tackling DBs in the league, in my opinion. Just the way that I've watched him over the film from the last couple of seasons. I mean, it seems like the dude does not miss on tackle. Usually when he gets his hands on you, it is lights out. Here is one of those crazy, great Spags pressures. And what he does here, D-tackle dropping into coverage. D-end, that's Karlaftis dropping into coverage. You never know who is coming on the blitz and who is staying at home, who is dropping into coverage, because they bring 2 DBs on this and drop an edge into coverage right here. And even that, Karlaftis is playing D-tackle essentially right here. You got Karlaftis. I think that's Chamari Connor that comes down, and either Watson or McDuffie. I can't tell. Obviously, the field goal post is in my way here. I think it is 22. McDuffie is the one that gets the pressure on him, but the way that opens up this left side with Bolton coming through, Bolton even takes the back, essentially, right here, out of the play to open up this wide open blitz. And then you still got Connor pursuing, kind of delayed right here. Probably not going to have the same outcome, and I'm not sure what's going on here. I think they just kind of ran into each other. I'm going to let that play out for a second. See, they're both going into coverage. So Reed is trying to get back across the field, while Karlaftis is trying to cover the flat, basically, anything going to that side. But it's going to open up every single time right here. You've got 6 Chiefs. You do have 6 blockers counting the running back, but with the confusion on the left side, it just does not work. Gets the pressure, incompletion, and they turn it back over for the Chiefs offense. Here is a big-time sack. I think the penalty was a holding call. Let's see, that's Karlaftis and Chris Jones. They get off on each edge right here. Let's see, there's one more. Cuts back inside. They're bringing 5 right here. And the 5 they have up front, I think it's Bolton that also blitzes. But the way that they play this out here, Chris Jones comes to the outside. Inside with the other lineman that's there. Karlaftis just does a good job getting around on the edge. The running back, I'm assuming, cuts out of the backfield before that happens. Now the running back just puts himself in a bad spot really right there. But pressure from both sides. I mean, one of them was probably going to get to him either way right there. Chris Jones does the job. I mean, he is one of the best in the game right now. I don't know if he's quite the number 1 D tackle in the league anymore, but I do feel like there's a couple of years, last year and the year before, where Chris Jones is absolutely the best D tackle in this league. And again, right here, I'm going to show more pressure from Chris Jones. This is a holding. I didn't really look back on that last play to see where they were calling that, but I mean, this one's pretty pretty bad. Right here, big time hold. All those, the Chiefs' offensive line holds all the time. Well, a lot of teams hold Chris Jones a lot of the time. They get called for it there. We'll see it one more time just because, I mean, just the Chris Jones is just, when he turns it on, I mean, there's not a lot of linemen that are stopping him. I will say I think Chris Jones takes some plays off, but I mean, when you're that good and you know when to turn it up, I mean, I think with the way this defense operates around him, he's all right taking a few plays off here and there. All right, so let's get into this next pass play now. Justin Herbert backs up, gets his offensive lineman, ran right into him, and I mean, he just misses everything here from that pressure. I think that's Turk Wharton bringing the pressure, 98. Does a great job. And, I mean, Herbert's falling down at that point. Let's see what the coverage was looking like here. All right, so the Chargers are going trips right on this. You know, one that cuts across the field. Kind of a drag route. Looks like we got an out route going and somebody to... I don't know what the hell just happened there, but he's going to stretch the field here. You got a couple of routes kind of leaking off the other way. Looks like he's going to come up. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing there, so we'll watch through that. Obviously, this play going to the right side anyways, just from how Herbert was pressured. That route kind of just curling out towards the sideline. Herbert's really just got these 2 routes really in front of him at that point with the pressure. Tries to get one of them, and I mean, really, that one was off the pressure more than the coverage, I think. The coverage was good there, but if Herbert had some more time, he's probably going to find someone open here, or even if he had a chance to actually see the left side, I mean, Herbert can probably make this pass out here for a nice little gain. Maybe something over here, but at that point, you know, just too late. Good play by the defense right there. Pressure, forcing an incompletion, forcing a hurried up throw. Dropping back, and another big pressure on Justin Herbert, and a sack for the Kansas City Chiefs. This one was to seal the deal and in the game, basically. And we'll see from this view what kind of crazy scheme old Spagnuolo drew up together here. So even where Chamari Connor is standing right now, I mean, he's still like, the way the Chiefs run this, they wait until the absolute last second possible to show their hand. You hardly ever know what exactly they're doing when, before the play snaps. I mean, against the Dolphins, one of the interceptions they got, or the interception they got that Mike Edwards, I want to say, got on Tua, I mean, they shifted twice from a 1 high shell to a 2 high shell, and then shift back to a 1 high shell during the play. I mean, the stuff Spags does and is doing. Chamari Connor is going to bring a blitz from that side, and that's like the initial pressure that gets to Herbert right here. See if one of these linemen jump into coverage. Every lineman is coming. Bolton drops off into coverage. No. Even on film, you got to watch it close. Because, again, Karlaftis starts like he's going to bring pressure and drops instead. And now that opens up Chris Jones one-on-one on the right side. That's the second time now we've seen this exact kind of pressure. Now, the only thing that they didn't do on this one that they did on the last play is they bring Chamari Connor right here. They don't bring any pressure from here. Because if you remember on the last play that we watched where they drew almost this exact same thing up, we had another DB, I think it was Connor on the right side, blitzing from here, and this was McDuffie's spot to blitz there. Instead, they just bring one of the DBs. But you see the guard, he's ready for something. He turns around and just looks back to try to figure out, all right, where can I actually help out? Because I'm not doing anything right now. Chamari Connor forces Herbert up into the pocket where Chris Jones gets his pressure. Sack, ball game, Chiefs win. And another huge one for the defense. And, getting into the tape, this is my favorite part of just watching these schemes like this and to see what Spags is doing where, this one, again, very similar to what we saw earlier in the game. And it does look like maybe, I'm not sure if that's Tranquil or I think that's Justin Reed that ends up coming down. So they kind of shift. And even like right before this play is getting ready to happen, Bolton is coming down from this position and shifting back into, I don't know if this is a mouse problem or a me problem. What's going on here? But Bolton is going to shift back in to kind of play this zone over the middle, whereas Reed was kind of showing he was probably going to play that. Instead, he rotates down. He's going to bring the pressure. Chamari Connor really just now kind of getting set, but not necessarily giving away that he's blitzing at this point. It's just a tough read to make pre-snap, and I mean, they're mid-snap essentially right there. So until you snap the ball, I mean, you see the linebacker, you see Bolton moving back and Reed moving into a spot where, okay, maybe Reed's bringing the pressure, Bolton's going to slide back into coverage, and then now all of a sudden you have a DB screaming from the left side coming down in between a gap where you've already got one-on-one on the outside here with, it looks like FAU in the left tackle, and now Justin Reed in the left guard brings Chamari Connor wide open. Then you got Chris Jones just beating this poor guy on the right side, which is a tight end. You're getting a tight end versus Chris Jones on the right side, and you're still getting Karlaftis sliding back into coverage. I mean, Steve Spagnuolo is a madman. But again, another reason why I'm talking about this and went through this again. I enjoy, especially on the defensive side of the ball, I love defense, and the things that Spags draws up, it's just absolutely insane. And so we'll continue through 4 weeks now. I plan to have week 5 up this week as well against the Saints and Monday Night Football. Trying to get a lot of these done as quick as possible, so hopefully early in the week maybe be caught up, and by the end of the week hopeful to get to the Bucks game. We'll see how that goes. But if you enjoyed the video and you are still watching, I really appreciate it. Smash that subscribe button for me. We are on the road to 300 still. Hit that like button as well. And make sure you hit that bell to stay notified when I post these film breakdowns, podcasts on Mondays. And until next time, we'll see you back here in the film room. Go Chiefs.